Hey. Welcome. It is time, as we're wont to do on many Sundays, is come up to the rock. We are excited to be here at GM Balo, and we're gonna have some fun in our Wild West steampunk sci-fi insanity that this world has become for us. So, we are ready to do. We had a lot of stuff happen last time. Essentially, there is a crisis that is threatening Hope's Dawn here. I think it's Dawn's Hope, actually. Threatening Dawn's Hope, uh, which is this settlement that our characters have been working on. Um, there are large formations of large crystals, black and dark, that within reside enormous, it seems, developing creatures around 15 feet tall that are connected to a large range of crystals by enormous umbilical cords, many per each one. And this threat, or whatever it may be, whether they mean evil or this is just a natural occurrence, is on the minds of our characters. And they've begun doing investigations. And we're going to hear some of the results of the investigations reviewed in character. But just know that in the meantime of all of this, there has been Miss Geberos, and might as well say Miss Lara as well, have found themselves holding things down in Dawn's Hope. We're going to check in on them and then continue and weave our story from there. Again, you are free. You are free to go ahead and give some inspiration in chat. So, here we go. It is dawn at Dawn's Hope. As our crew of Arya and Matthias and Morgan and Ogi have left to explore and see if there is something to be treasured or found in ancient ruins, and to connect with the Toms a bit on what can be done. In the meantime, Scabby, Ross, and Laya have been left to just make sure the town is running and good, and we are going to come in upon them. So, Miss Gabby and Lyra, it is a new day. Everyone has begun what they have to do. The general store is open. People are getting what they need for the morning. Some are getting fresh milk. Blacksmiths are beginning their wares. People are going off to the mines. Things are moving. Where might we find the two of you?
Gabby would have set up an office at the town square where she is taking different people who come in and need things, and meanwhile in her other time she's kind of still coordinating to make sure nobody stumbles upon the giant baby thing that's out in the middle of the field not too far away.
Yeah. You do have guards up there that we had from a previous session. You had actually helped put up there.
Right. So she's like coordinating to make sure they are well fed, and just making sure that there's no issues, and probably has somebody who gives her updates on whatever's going on, and also probably got to know what's his name a little better. Goodwin Godwin. What was his name?
Cochrane.
Cochrane. Cochrane. That's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just kind of being a familiar face in the city, so that so that she doesn't just disappear and people start asking questions. And yeah.
Absolutely. I would say, as long as Miss Gabby would allow him, Cochrane has been his interests have tended towards just like filling the gaps, making sure that if there's anything official, that Miss Gabby would know about it. If there's an expectation that people would have that she didn't quite seem to know, he'd be sure to go, hey, you just try to fill her in. Always giving her is this something you want to do? Always phrasing it very much as a choice, just so she can decide the type of mayor she wants to be, the type of town she wants to run, but that she doesn't, a missed opportunity doesn't go by without her realizing it.
Okay.
Is kind of what he's been very interested in. Besides just getting to know her in the official days, when he's able to have some other a few people he employs he's been working with, especially that tend to be people who were here when the convoy got here all those months ago, that he's taught how to run the store. So I would say he takes about 2 to 3 hours, not all at once, but here and there throughout the day, just come to the office and check in and see anything that he can help with, give insight to, bring from the store. And if she's so interested, to have at least 15 minutes of tea and conversation, just unofficially.
Yeah, she has a tea time. And she would probably ask him at some point, so what is it that the locals... Is there a major concern in the town? We have a infrastructure, or maybe trade routes, or...
Well, I do hear many things in my store, and I must say I've been paying more attention since our acquaintance. Because they have a problem with the town, and I have a problem with the mayor, and I happen to care for her very much. At any rate, I do see that there are, what I hear, obviously besides the obvious large crystals looming at our destruction, there is the safety, generally, of our getting the fresh water from the ravines. And, well, quite honestly, quite a few of our couples here, and some couples that have formed since we've all arrived, either are or believe they are or soon want to be expected. So safety, supplies, and enough food and things for expansion and occupy the minds of many people.
Of course. Perhaps I can talk to the acting sheriff about perhaps expanding, starting a town militia, so that we can protect the resources more fairly from any local wildlife. Now, the water supply, are we worried about it just not being fresh, or are we worried about having trouble getting the water to the town?
It was more the incident with the black crystal down there, where there was an attack upon it. And that, I think, one, that we'd have a reservoir, and two, that we wouldn't be hindered horribly if something happened again, or we'd have some type of stronger defense than calling you and your friends. I would say everyone sees that there's more and larger safety concerns that seem to occupy your time, and that we may not have access to all of you to come in and save the day.
What is the situation about a town school and a daycare?
We have none. No children came with us and the envoy. And those that were here, I'd say most families just took care of that. But that will be a need, frankly, more of a daycare before a school, I think.
Of course.
Especially if we don't want our people to be consumed with that and want to expand and get things done.
How much would that cost us to build a facility to house children during the day and to staff it?
Well, right now, no one even pays taxes, Miss Ross. We don't have any type of those systems in place. Everything's just, we ask around, and once we convince people that it's a good thing to build, people build it. And people grab what they can, they harvest, they give of their time.
All
Not
right.
that type of officialness, we can establish that.
In that case, we should probably set up a town meeting where we can discuss the possibility of a very small tax. For now, I would like to fund this mostly through resources, perhaps through trade, because I feel that the people here just can't afford any hefty tax on income at the moment. But perhaps we can trade resources to a nearby vendor.
We have no relations with any settlements around here.
Well, that's step one then.
I'm not. The only thing I know about the nearest place is on our way here, we were told if they see you, they're going to kill you.
All right.
If you remember.
All right. So perhaps a town meeting to discuss the possibility of taxation, but I want to frame it as a means of the town protecting itself and growing, because if the town grows and the income increases and the tax burden lowers.
Indeed.
If people are wanting a system in place where their children can be taken care of, where we can get a school, where we can allow for more infrastructure, better roads for trade, then, well, we're going to need money. And unfortunately, I don't suppose the predecessors ever thought to improve the town as much as to keep it afloat.
I'd say so. The most part, I mean, there's been a credit here or there, but used cenarium or metals are the best thing we've had to trade and to make some sort of system. But it's very loose, and especially if we are to expand, it is entirely corruptible without much effort.
I should talk to the others when they get back, see what they think about a resource trip, so we can come up with something valuable in the meantime.
Indeed. All right. Now, is this going on? Lisa, where do you see Lyra in all this? Is she like attending Miss Gabby, or is she off doing her own thing?
She's she sticks pretty close to Miss Gabby since she's at the town hall, and we've been building the town hall. Um, and because she's working with Miss Gabby for offices and the town meeting area. That's what we had started several weeks ago. And so she's been working with Miss Gabby to see what she wanted as far as that area, for meeting places, offices, that kind of stuff. She's sticking close just in case she needs her, and for protection, not knowing if something might happen or if there was a threat to her, since everybody else has been kind of busy.
Very good. So would Lyra be kind of getting everyone together for the meeting then, you think, or?
Yeah, she would be letting Aria's girls know that there would be a meeting, because Aria's girls are usually the ones that spread the news. And since she's close enough with Aria, she knows her girls and knows who she needs to talk to.
Very good. All right. So yeah, I'd say anything before the town meeting from either of you.
I think I would have sent Cochrane just to get an idea of how the town feels about taxation.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have a poll system, so
yeah. I think he'd come back to that and go, well, so far, listen, everyone knows at some level that we had an election. And official mayor, things were going to have to be done somewhat officially. So I don't know if they'd be... It's not going to come out of left field. But it's certainly not... Does not mean they're necessarily going to go for it. They might be open to the discussion, though. I think trying to help them understand or see where this will go from the old ways. Them understanding if we do want taxation, why it is needed versus the old ways of simply going around and handshaking and elbow rubbing and just getting what we need by asking, saying, hey, we have a need in the town, everyone chip in. Whatever's shipped in gets done, versus what you seem and would make sense, frankly, of where there's just a flat thing given monthly or annually or whatever in order to allow the mayor to do what she needs without any approval or acknowledgement from the town. I think they'll have to be sold.
all right. That's good to know. Lyra, do you know any artists?
Not right off the bat, but I'm pretty certain I can check with the girls over at the saloon, because I'll bet they know a lot of people in town, and I can find one.
I was just thinking if they could see a visual representation of what the town could look like versus how it currently looks, they might be more persuaded.
Like a mock-up?
Right. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, just enough to see families and infrastructure. Or if not that, maybe there's a book nearby that might have an image we can use. And I'm going to think back too, because I'm wondering if Gabby has such a book.
So you would have of what we've established about your books previously. I would say that that there would be like small sketchings of the main city of the company and sketchings of intake. So those would be two cities you'd have some sketching of. They'd be small though. You know, they'd be within the thing of a page.
But I was just thinking, we do have a print press here. I don't know how it works in this world.
Arya created a print press for you.
Right.
It's no longer there.
Right, didn't last. However, I was going to say I'm totally fine with them getting back before the meeting.
Okay.
And like this is timey-wimey. We can
Right.
whatever we need to do in order for that to work. If you'd like. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that works. That works.
Okay.
Well, Miss Gabby, why don't you let me run over to the saloon, talk to Aria's girls, and see what I can find out
All right.
about an artist or someone of similar talent who might be able to do a mock-up of the town.
And
Do you want like on a board?
well a large visual. There might be if there's an artist in town, they might have already drawn something that's ideal too. But yes, you should definitely check, because that would be better than the images I currently have.
Okay, well, let me go do that, and I'll be back just as quick as I can. So Lyra's going to head off to the saloon to check with Aria's girls.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you go down there, and the biggest thing you're trying to check for is an artist, right?
Correct.
Okay.
At least some sort of artistic skill.
Okay. All right. In that case, let's do this. Well, I'll have someone volunteer to start, but then we'll start to go around. Everyone give me one sentence about what they think the artist of this town is like. Like let's get a rough sketch of it, then I'll fill in the gaps.
Very vocal about his ability or their ability.
Okay. I love it. Very vocal about their ability.
Whether it be good or bad.
Right.
I like almost every single artist I know, very eccentric.
Okay.
Very eccentric, almost not a homebody, but not very vocal, but not but likes their space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picturing my grandfather here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm picturing my grandfather here. He lived, him and his wife had separate houses, and he lived in his studio, and he was very private, but still had a lot to say.
Very good.
I'm thinking colorful. They would be very colorful personalities, wear very colorful clothes. Just you would notice them right away. It's not going to be somebody who's shy or muted. They're going to be a very colorful person, a very bright, colorful personality.
All right, then Jackie.
Doesn't take criticism very well. And if somebody wants are either doesn't like what they did or makes a mention of something that could be better, they just don't get it.
Yes.
What? Okay, perfect.
And they also hate their own work.
Their own worst critic.
Okay, very cool. Okay, you go talk to them, and you are given the name here of Jeremina Joffrey.
Jeremina Joffrey?
Mhm.
Okay, so where do I find this Jeremina Joffrey?
Jeremina Joffrey. They have a. You go to. If you find yourself at the peak of the town, you will see that they have. There should be a staircase that's usually in good repair that goes down to their, I guess, house. It's more like a shack that they've attached to the side of our cliff here.
Oh, this should be interesting. Okay.
Yes. Oh, do be careful. They like to leave Rocinarium all around.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, Jeremina Joffrey. Okay. Well, Lyra's going to head that direction and step carefully. Extremely carefully, because that sounds painful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Give me
I'm
a straight up dexterity saving throw as you approach this place.
Great. Lucky me. Are you kidding me? A 4.
Oh no.
This is bad. I can tell.
You approach this place, and really, you just see the barest sign of, at least at one time, was probably a railing, but now has been taken apart from, Cenarium storms and winds, and has so many holes in it that it is quite a wonder it is still intact. Likely, you're like, someone just you'd think even a slight bug that would have landed on this would destroy it. It is some type of miracle or spiritual act of a god that it is there. And as you continue to get close, you go, okay, and you're steeling yourself to, what am I going to do? Am I going to try to climb down? There's some way to tie a rope off. That you do not realize that there is a sizable pile of discarded Cenarium bits that you hear crunch underneath your feet right before this upward explosion of thunderous energy occurs, dealing 10 thunder damage. And more unfortunate than that, rockets you up about 10 feet. Moving you so that you fall prone, but therefore your body is so spread out now that instead of just a small ignition place, you land, and there's about 4 other piles you land upon. I need a Constitution saving throw.
You don't like me, do you? 16.
16. Amazing. Okay, so you're going to take half of 30 for 15
Oh,
thunder
shit.
damage. And,
Oh, God. Ouch.
and there are several other explosions that represent this damage. That's
Oh,
like
God.
until you finally come to rest. And you breathe out a sigh of relief, only to then
Relief?
see, because it stopped, that there are little piles that surround you, and you're not entirely sure how you're going to get up without activating another one.
I'm just going to sleep right here.
And you hear, and as you are contemplating this potential death by artist errand thing, and what could be written upon your tombstone, saying, "Poor Lyra, if she only had been more careful." That you hear this voice you've not heard, never met this. What in the wild name of all that echoes through the Song of the Rock do you think you are doing, messing up my wonderful pigments? Who are you, bestial person, that you would render such an offense against me?
Great. I'm dying quietly and somebody's griping at me. So give me the name again, please.
Jeffrey.
Jeremy to Jeffrey.
Jeremy. So you must be Jeremina Jeffrey, I take
Joffrey,
it?
yeah.
Joffrey, I
Yeah.
take it?
Have you've heard of me? Have you been? Oh my goodness! Have you seen what I have done? Do you maybe have my famous Cenarian weapons? Do you have anything that my paintings, my rock formations, my wind chimings? And you wish to get an autograph? Is that why you are here?
Sure, we'll go with that. If I live. Yeah, okay.
If you live, have you come to this barren place of a town as a pilgrimage to true art? Oh my goodness, how poetic it is to come to the fount of one's inspiration only to die at the very doorstep. I'm sorry, I'm going to go down and get my supplies so I can paint you in this awful situation, so I can capture the dramaticism of this. I'll be right back. But she leaves. Well, they
We
leave,
created a monster.
Gave you the paintbrush, y'all. And they come back.
Did everybody up in town hear all this?
There's a moment where you're like, what in the, and you're thinking,
I'm thinking I'm going to die here with this woman painting me bloody, broken, and bruised.
and while you think of what am I going to say to this person, you realize that enough time has gone by and you sort of you risk just tilting your head slightly, and you see that they have arrived and fully have an easel and a large thin slab of cenarium that is highly volatile, and they are taking they are taking the cenarium brush essentially and etching it within this. And this, if this were to go off, if this something were to happen, you're pretty sure this would be like 100-foot radius blast. And they are just. However, it is beautiful. There are colors that they're able to paint. They are capturing the feeling of you, this sadness, this terror. While it is ridiculous what they are doing, it is also there's this beauty, and that They actually are doing what they're doing well. And as they see, now do not move. You will ruin the emotion of the moment. I would hate for you to calm down or to have any type of catharsis before I can capture your abject horror and confusion.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, wonderful. You are my muse.
Just what I always wanted to be, a muse. On death's door, and I'm a muse. Cool. Yeah, this will go great.
So what would you like to do?
So Lyra's gonna lay here in the blood and the gore and surrounded by this destruction, and allow this artist to continue with her painting and be her muse, and hopefully in her pain and her suffering, bond with this artist.
Absolutely. Oh, you know what she wants. So I will give you a persuasion check with advantage here.
$20.
20.
Oh, thank God.
A good hour goes by.
Oh, great. I'm laying there in the blood and gore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Well, I'm sorry, my wonderful person. What did you say her name was?
Lyra.
Lyra. Oh, I am painting the lion, Lyra. That is so poetic. I seem to find myself at quite a conundrum. You see, my creative energy has been absolutely exhausted by this opportunity. And now it is the painful tension of the artist I am now enduring for what rightly, in order to fully capture what you are going through, I need to retire and come back tomorrow and have you stay here so that your terror may increase. But then, well, I mean, what if something would come by and hurt you and ruin my art? That would just be a tragedy that would affect generations.
Oh, yeah.
So,
My generations.
I do feel, even though it will ruin the purity, it at least will preserve, well, it'll at least will preserve something. And I guess I just have to get that this world is flawed, and I may not be able to get everything out of this. So sit tight. I will attempt to remove you the best I can without, of course, disturbing this place. And as as they are talking, you get the sense of a different type of song of the rock that starts to come around you. You feel like it's even been generated by the painting itself, or really this etching really is what it is. And you find yourself lifted by sound waves around you and moved towards where they have set up. And it moves you vertical and sets you upon your feet, and will have the added benefit of healing you 7 hit points.
I'll take it. I'm
And
on my
now-
feet and I'm healed. I'm okay.
Oh. Now, of course, this is not complete. I can't let you gaze upon my etching, but you may gaze upon me, for this is really why you've come here, miles and miles simply. I mean, who knows through what? And of course, that is the point of story people don't care about. They just want to know that it was there, and there were, of course, danger. It is the mystery, but it is the point of being in my presence that brings the true drama of it. So, what have you come to learn of the deep secrets of creativity?
City.
I came for your assistance.
Well, of course, my sentence and enlightenment of your soul. I totally understand. Are
Yes.
you looking for something like lead meditation? Do you want to stare death in the face? Because I can tell from you, you've never truly been in danger before. Maybe I can help you with that. Or what?
No, what I'm really looking for is a great artist like you to help our town with an interpretation of what our town would look like at its greatness.
Oh, a glimpse into the future. And what town are you from, my dear muse?
Dawn's Hope.
Oh my gosh. Oh, should have known from the smell of you. Your sheer presence came in here and killed all the inspiration one could have. You are, in fact, the opposite of creativity. Oh, I may shrivel and lose my ability by sheer basically being.
I'm not from Dawn's Hope. I'm from another place, but I'm trying to help Dawn's Hope be better than what it is.
Oh. Well, of course, because your presence brought the inspiration as you came in here of missionary, of igniting a flame in a dark, dark place. I totally understand. But have you been there? I mean, those people, it is like a sinkhole that seeks to devour those with vision.
And that's
It is
why,
dangerous for me to even get close there,
but
lest
that's
my
why,
gift be consumed.
but that's why we need you. That's why we need your beauty and your presence and your grace and your tremendous gift. And as your muse, as your protector, I will do everything in my power to keep you safe, to hold you close, to make sure nothing hurts you while you're in Dawn's Hope.
A meat shield for creativity. I might be on board with that. Make a persuasion check.
$19.
Yes. Yes. Of course, of course. It is the song itself that has empowered you to serve by my side as a bearer of shield, as a bearer of arms, to sacrifice your own precious spirit so that a much greater one can produce. I'll gladly accept this charge. I must get my supplies.
Awesome.
They come down and back up, and how, and there's a point too as you see them rush down these rickety steps, how you're like, maybe they are greatness, because I don't know how someone could have survived that just now. And they come back with all these bags and satchels, and it's a good 400 pounds they go to lay upon you. And you are quite sure a lot of it is the very type of scenario and things that you've been trying to avoid since you've got here. They're the things that you're like, I try not to touch those when we go out places because something bad always happens. But there's just all this here, including some slabs of the same, like, highly volatile scenario. And so he's like, all right, let us walk freely. And she hits you on your back, and you swear you're going to blow up right there. And you can make your way back to Dawn's.
If I make it, if she touches me one more time, I may explode. Oh my God. I'm going to have a heart attack before I get back.
And I feel like this might be a good time for the other characters, if everyone's okay with it, to be within the saloon and have I walk in with this amazing person. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, that's fine. This sounds like Arya people.
And so you arrive here. So the scene here then would be Miss Scabby, for this you know that your friends are back. Would you want to have this meeting at Arya's or your office, and would you like Mr. Cochran?
At my office. And yes.
All right. In that case, Matthias, Arya, and Miss Scabby, you're sitting with Mr. Cochran, awaiting, hopefully, Lyra's arrival. And you see her. Describe for me Lyra's face as she carefully makes her way into the office of Miss Scabby Ross with all these things.
Well, she told me to describe Lyra's face. What Ari would probably see. She probably sees Lyra walk in, just absolute eyes wide, just this terrified expression on her face. And she's like battered and bruised and got some blood. And she looks like a pack mule.
Carefully sets down the equipment and I think makes room for what she assumes is going to be Miss Joffrey. But Miss Joffrey is not there, at least not her front. You do see the back of her, which is these bright, colorful patterns of fabric that come off of them. But she is instead shouting out into the city, "Doms, help! I have arrived to take you off of your weariness, to replace what we all know is your dark and depressing souls with hope and light. And I am honored that I think your leadership here has seen how awful you are, that they have called me here. I will see you after I meet with them." And she comes in, and you see this person. There is no evidence of personal hygiene upon them. Their hair is going off in every which direction. Their breath actually kind of produces this foul smell, but at the same time, for all their bluster, there is, in fact, a beauty to the patterns and colors of their clothing. And even as you see the dirt that's upon them, it is shaped as if they took time to maybe take water, not for washing, but for sculpting the patterns upon their skin, contouring it in the right place. And there is like this, it's almost like this foul smelling and looking beauty of wilderness that they exude. It's quite strange. Oh, my protector here has asked me to come and save you from yourselves. And then goes, I am here to be the savior.
Who are you?
She Excuse me.
Um,
Looks at Lyra. You have brought me to an uncultured swine who would not even know my very name.
Hold on, just one moment. Hold on. Let me do the
She's
proper.
crying.
Let me do the proper introductions here. Just one moment, lady.
Introductions. Wonderful.
I want Miss Joffrey. I told you I would take care of you, did I not? Did I not?
You did. I'm sorry. Go.
Okay.
Go be my martyr. Yes.
Okay, hang on. Miss Gabby, Miss Aria, Matthias. This is Miss first name. I keep forgetting the first name, okay? Can't remember the first name.
Jeremina.
Jeremy.
Thank you. This is Miss Jeremina Joffrey. She is an artist. She is, wait a minute, let me finish. She is an amazing artist. She is a breathtaking artist. I watched her work. It stole my breath. It amazed me. It touched my soul.
Lyra, are you feeling all right?
Miss Gabby, we can discuss this later.
I agree.
And
So can we move on?
I wink at her. I wink at Miss Gabby. I am asking for your patience and understanding at this moment. While I admit Miss Joffrey is eccentric, and I love her because of it, I have agreed to be her protector, to ask her to be here. She is one of the best artists in town. In fact, she's the only artist.
Excuse me.
Well, now you may.
I'm sorry.
I must apologize for her. She just meant real artist.
Uh-huh.
That's all she meant.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh!
Okay.
Lyra, would you like to introduce me now?
I'm not done with introductions. Give me a break. Give me a break here.
All right. Well, why don't you let me know when we're done introducing the real artist? And if it takes longer than tea time.
Should I go outside and hang myself now? Or are y'all done? I've been battered and bruised enough for the day, okay? You have no idea what I've been through.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Thank you. Miss Joffrey, this is Miss Gabby Ross. Excuse me, Mayor Gabby Ross. She is now the mayor of Don's Hope, and she is my dearest friend.
Oh.
This
Good,
is
that she must not be related to that bestial person, Tom, then.
Excuse
But
me.
she is your friend.
Okay.
I stand up from the desk.
No, wait a minute.
Now,
Miss Joffrey, calm down. Okay. Let's not get into an argument before. Let's not discuss anything but business today, okay?
You
Please.
can discuss the business. It might hurt my creative spirit. I'll let you. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. You're
Okay.
quite right. Here I am letting myself go into danger when you're the one who should be hurt. Go ahead.
Yes, that's my job, to be hurt, not you. So,
Yes.
sounds like Miss Joffrey and I have found common ground. She shall remain silent during the business. So, Lyra, what type of art does this real artist have to show us?
this art is a little on the scary side, but it is gorgeous. I was truly amazed by it. Can we produce one of these pieces that you did? The one that you did of me while I was laying blown up on the ground would be
What?
Girl.
So what?
something similar. Would be
Well,
fine.
I mean, it's not finished.
How about something similar? Because I'm sure you brought something to show us that you would love to show us.
I mean, I think my reputation precedes itself. I think examples are not necessary. You just tell me what type of, what you want people to feel and experience, and I've already agreed to make it happen.
All right. Well, I think that it's important that people see this art and that it resonates with a certain feeling of hopefulness and optimism.
I think community would be a great asset in the art as well. Families.
People standing against the ever-approaching darkness that threatens to take their spirit
no-
souls.
No,
What?
no.
What? No?
We're looking to show progress.
Well, that is progress, right?
No.
No?
No darkness. Light, hope at the end of the tunnel. So to speak.
A banished darkness, then, that is already gone because of the great things that they have achieved.
Yes.
Excellent. Plenty of darkness. I gotcha. Now, anything else?
Yes. This art is meant to show people the best of themselves, what they can be if they will it. And that's where the hopefulness in the community and the family and the infrastructure and the overall sense of optimism comes from. Is it's a light from within themselves that projects out into the world. So there's no need for darkness, because darkness is in the past.
A lot that projects.
So when a person sees the painting, they can feel that light.
Look at you. I think I can give you something you will be happy with, but you will need to trust me.
All right.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
I'm good.
How long do you need?
Well, he actually does think about everything.
The darkness.
I know the darkness came right there. I mean, to truly do this, I might need a few months.
Months. How about a shorter time frame to truly test your skills and to show how marvelous an artist you are, to do something no other artist has ever done, to create something that is a little more quick.
Make a persuasion check, actually.
All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, that is a 18.
Oh, very good. A crucible of fire and pain that refines. What did you have in mind?
What do you think would be a high challenge for someone of your talent? Because I don't want to insult you by giving a timetable like weeks, because I'm pretty sure any artist could do weeks, maybe even any artist could do days, but a truly amazing artist could do something. Well, I don't know. What did you think?
She swallows a bit. Well, this is Dawn's hope. So I will show the hope at dawn.
Was that the answer?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, the hope at dawn. Ah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
So
sure.
at dawn, yeah.
Gotcha.
That is so poetic.
Yes, actually, that would be incredible. I've never heard of an artist that could do an art piece that quickly. That would truly impress me.
All right, fine then. That will be 200 pounds of scenario, and I will need to start, of course, right away. And I will need this Lyra person to keep all the dark and dread people of this city from messing with my creativity. And I'm assuming that where would you have everybody gather to reserve to view upon this masterpiece?
Let's go back. 200 pounds of scenarium.
For my fee, of course.
Oh, you have a fee.
Listen, truly great artists do not work for free.
Oh, I just assumed you said Lyra was your protector. I thought perhaps there'd already been an arrangement.
Well, if there is a lack of appreciation, I guess maybe I came when I should not have.
Does the town even have 200 pounds of scenario?
Well, that's actually okay, because there is another artist we are talking with. Perhaps they are better suited for a task like this. This art will, of course, be displayed in museums, and as this town grows, it will become one of the most historical pieces of art ever, but it's a shame your
Centerpiece
name
of
will
the town.
disappear. Oh well, it was nice meeting you. You may show yourself out.
She pauses. Goes, you, of course, if you wish to sell yourselves with an inferior artist, that is up to you. But I have to say, Mayor Ross, you may have broken my heart for the people of this town, and so I am willing to go down to 5 pounds of cenarium, as it is cenarium I use to make my things.
How much above table? I don't know this. How much scenarium do we have?
So 5 pounds is a large amount. There has been scenario in the mine, so it is a you could get it.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, like 200 pounds. You'd be mining that for a good year, at least from what you know of your resources right now.
Okay.
But within a few days, you could definitely be able to get that from the mine. Though it would put a halt to some other things in the town.
Okay. Well, I do believe that you have yourself a deal.
Excellent. I have enough scenario to do this project. And where is it that you are going to gather everybody at dawn to view it?
Well, Miss Aria,
Yes.
would our presence be welcome at your saloon?
She grins at Mrs. Joffrey. I would enjoy that tremendously.
Very good. I'll simply need a place made outside. I must do this will be for outside display only, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, actually, that might work. We can have the actual town meeting in the saloon, and then we can gather everyone outside for the unveiling of the art.
There's plenty of space in a lovely spot behind the saloon if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
I do believe I should have access to the town square for your desired effect. I will be there. We just need to cover we need some type of temporary structure to cover me for the duration. And then I must emphasize that it will be displayed at dawn, whether they are there or not. So
Okay.
please have them on time.
That sounds fair.
I can get a temporary structure built. And that way I can be with you as your protector, as I said I would.
All right, then. Come on, Lyra, we got work to do. And she leaves. But Lyra, you may stay because you get the feeling that she probably isn't going to look back to see if you're there or not for a good 20 minutes anyway.
I do.
And feel free to interact with everybody. Yes.
I would like to just do like a general insights check on the last thing she said. Like when she was talking about unveiling it, do I get the sense that she actually understands what we're requesting?
Go make an insight check.
All right. Not great. 12.
She understands the effect you want it to have upon the people.
Okay.
Beyond that, no idea.
Right.
And that she is committed to that effect. But as far as anything else that you may have in mind, you have zero clue. She knows
Right.
that.
Okay. Artists.
Lyra, you look a little worse for wear here, and she's gonna just go ahead and cast a second level healing word on Lyra.
You have no idea. It was just Miss Gabby, I
Yes.
love you to death. But if I ever have to go looking for a nurse again, I'm going to absolutely say no. That was the most just no. I'm just going to say no.
Well, Lyra, you did volunteer to go.
I
look for
know.
an artist.
I know I did. And next time, you did much better with her than I did. Actually, no, you would probably be dead. I actually managed to live through it, and I don't know how, considering I blew up. And I'm still not sure how I managed to live through it. And then I laid there for hours while she painted me or etched me, or I'm not sure what she did, but. And then I carried Cenarium on my back to get here.
Yes.
And I could have blown up then. And I'm
Right.
having a nervous breakdown right now.
I was
And
a
I
little.
need a drink.
I was a little.
Ari, I know you have a drink on you. I need it now. I'm panicking. Oh my God.
Well, I was concerned that you brought the bomb to my office a little bit.
So was I. I was concerned too. Did you not see the terror on my face walking in? I still had it strapped to me.
Yeah, which by the way, there's probably 400 pounds of various cenarium compounds, and you know that anything over 15 pounds is considered absolutely deadly to have around at any given point.
So can we just take 5 pounds of this scenarium to pay her with?
Want to try this trick her?
I'm
Not
still
really.
not sure how we managed to get back here without blowing up, and I'm not sure how she etched into Cenarium without blowing us both up.
Yeah.
So, but it was a beautiful painting or etching or whatever it was. It was gorgeous.
Well, Lyra, it does sound like you need a drink. So why don't we all gather at Arya's and they can fill us in on where they went, because I'm rather curious to find out how that all went.
Then you can freely move Mr. Cochran, who has been sweating this whole time, because he is a very practical man and has seen all of this, is like, Miss Gabby, do you still you need my assistance, or should I go back to my store and keep everything moving and provide excitement for tomorrow's early morning meeting?
If there's something you feel like, obviously, you can, if you prefer to do that instead of join us for drinks, I understand.
You're doing that. He immediately will grab your hand. Miss Gabby, what do you need me to do? How can I be of assistance? Let me be very clear.
Well, to be honest, I suppose we'll be talking mostly about the mission that took place out of town, and so I won't be as available to handle the domestic side here, if you don't mind filling in.
Of course. I think before the mayorship, people came to my store is probably still the best. The more I am, I do believe the more I am the person behind the counter, the more trustworthy I actually am to them. So I will let them know that I will take care of everything. You go discuss the future and safety of this town.
All right. Okay, well, for the rest of us, I suppose we should go get ourselves those drinks.
Sounds like a great idea. I experimented with some new alcohol. Can't wait for you to try it, Miss Gabby.
New alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not as spicy.
You yourself.
Insight
It's
check.
strong.
Nat 20.
Hold on. Let's see.
Whatever you
What is it? Yeah. No, it's spicy, but not like cinnamon spicy.
So ridiculously spicy?
No.
No, okay.
No.
All right. Perhaps I shall try some.
I definitely want to try some if it's strong. I need it right now. My nerves are shot from all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have to.
You cut off Lyra.
And I still have to go back and deal with her.
All right. So I guess we're all heading to our secret room and
Yes.
Arya's with drinks.
Absolutely. All right. Say, interesting enough, this room from the last time you left Arya does seem to have been organized and cleaned. You assume by the girls.
Oh.
It's made to be There's more seats here. It's a little bit more of a meeting room.
Oh, okay. What about the boxes in the corner where we buried the black Cenarium box?
They've not been touched. Anything that looked
Okay.
like your personal stuff,
Mhm.
like they kind of moved. It's just more like it's almost like a lot of care was taken not to dig or reveal anything,
Okay.
or just like there was things on the floor. Just what they could do to make it more of a space. Kind of realizing this is almost like the Pentagon room of the town, where because they picked up on that, and they just kind of get like this is where they discuss stuff that like is our safety more than in the other offices. So we need to make this as good as we can, and
Oh,
it could without intruding upon your space.
oh, that was just so sweet of them. I gotta make a drink just for them. Call it my Gossip Girls. Oh yeah, here, Lyra, Gabby, Matthias, if you want some, and she'll pour out. It's mostly clear, but has a green tinge to it.
Now, before we drink these, Arya, are we going to be able to remember this conversation? Because I feel like this is going to be a very important conversation.
Oh, I mean, you can hold your alcohol, can't you?
You've seen me. I can't even walk without getting hurt.
Arya will drink 2/4 of it, drink half of it, and she'll hand it the glass back. That should do you for now.
All right. So, Matthias and Arya, I suppose if you could begin with, I know after we encountered the giant or giants out in that Cenarium field, we had a plan to go back to the ship. So, what happened?
Well, we went down into the ship. Oh no, we went back down into the ship, and then oh goodness, so much happened. Matthias, help jog my memory.
We spoke with the AI.
The
We
same one we met before?
Inserted a sample.
Yes.
I believe so. We had it test something. I believe it was a weave crystal. Or the crystal that brought Miss Morgan back. And found out it was a weave crystal.
Yes.
Those had apparently been what fueled their ship.
Weave crystals.
And they are, yes, is what they called them.
Were they only found
They
down there?
are. I believe at the time when they crashed, yes. Their engine kind of exploded. So I'm not sure there could be some, but I believe most of them originated from there, yes.
Do you have any of these weave crystals with you?
Miss Morgan has one.
Okay.
And to be
What were you
clear,
going to say, Arya?
what they were saying too is what you all called like the Cenarium seed
Mhm.
crystals, they call weave crystals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if any of us had one or not on us, so thank you for. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Miss Morgan has a box we found that seems to be able to contain them and keep some of their more destructive properties in check.
This fox, is it sort of one of these AIs, or is it an actual?
box.
Oh, I misheard. I was picturing a fox. I'm glad I cleared that up. I was like, why is this fox eating these
It's very
crystals?
similar to Ogi's pocket. It is an astral fox.
Yeah. Ogie has surprising things in his pocket.
We also found out Mr. Hayes might be from
Hundreds
the
of
ship,
years old. Yeah.
Might be one.
From the
and
ship.
he has quite the record. 89
Record?
counts of homicide, 67 misdemeanors, and 102 counts of manslaughter.
Hold
How
on.
did you remember that?
I wrote that part down.
Oh, okay.
So this was a record in the ship that he was a prisoner.
Yes.
So he was one of the prisoners, not one of the
I
crew.
think Miss Ross, I think Captain Ross is the only one that wasn't a prisoner.
Oh. So if that's true, he must be kept alive by what, Cenarium, or
That's what we're thinking.
Let me put in.
Did you find his cell?
We didn't get the chance to look much further than, what was it, the 5th floor down?
Yes.
Yes. Miss Ross, that ship is dangerous.
And it's huge.
More monsters and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
You could say that.
I think that's a little bit of an understatement.
Do we think these
Although some of them are quite cute.
Yeah. Dangerous but cute.
did you find anything there that might help us with the giants?
We found out that we need to get a sample of that crystal, just a small sample, back down to the ship, and it can analyze the crystal and it can help us. And the only way we can get close to it is these specialized suits that I found. I've only found 3. And then we also found
Well, didn't we have 4?
well, we had 3.5 because you found that one that was stuck to the wall.
Okay.
So we'd be able to send 3 people into that growth.
Close to it, yes, without getting injured.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we may have an opportunity. Before we continue, I'm sure you have a lot more to tell us, but one of my thoughts, just since there's a possibility that Mr. Hayes, wait, you said Hayes.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking, I don't know why, I was thinking the mayor guy.
A blue song?
Yeah.
No.
No, we're talking about haze. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Oh, wow. That actually explains a lot. And it probably explains why he's so interested in all these experiments.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're drinking the what I gave you, it tastes like menthol.
I am not. The last time I drank did not end well, so
I've already filled up Lyra's cup like 4 times. So we have a way of cutting the crystal, but I think it needs to be fixed. Is that what I remember? Do I remember that correctly, Matthias?
yes. And we did ask the AI on how they worked, and I believe we can get them working again.
Mm-hmm. And then,
And we have 2 of them.
yeah. But we also, they can't just be transported in anything organic. It has to be pretty much nothing can be able to live on it. So a metal box. And I think Morgan and Ogie said that they were going to commission a box from the blacksmith.
Okay. That makes sense.
Wait a minute.
All right, so... Okay. So we've got to get the tool for cutting fixed. And we have a way of transporting the materials once we get it commissioned through the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
And there's at least 3 suits.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a start. That could hopefully help us with that situation a little bit.
We also heard from Mr. Bluesong that there are some people from Intake City nearby in a town by the lake. What was the name of the lake?
Miracle.
By Miracle Lake. That might be able to give us information because some memories came back to me about human pretty much experimentation going on there, and they were using Cenarium to modify people in Intake City. And I remember a girl, Cassie was her name. She was able to purify the water that they were using somehow, and we might be able to find information to see if we can figure out how to fix it.
That's really good news, because actually one of the things that I was speaking to Lyra and Mr. Cochran about were safe transport of fresh water back to the town.
Yeah. But if we can, I think if we can get over to that town while they're working on this box, see if we can find out anything, that might help us out a lot.
How long of a trip is it to get out there?
I think said a couple of days.
Okay. So after we do this meeting, I do think that while as the blacksmiths are making their tools, that would make sense. We could make that trip.
Yeah. Does that sound good to both of you guys? Matthias, Lyra?
That sounds good to me. I'm going to have to leave here in a few because I've got to get back to the artist. As I say this with absolute dread. I think I'll take another drink. I'll have another drink before I go, though, to steady my nerves just a little bit more.
And Lyra, while you're out there, if you could see what you could do as far as taking a peek at what they're looking at. I just don't want anything crude to be shown to the town, and I don't exactly know what kind of art they're creating, and it would just ease my own mind a bit.
I'll see what I can do, Miss Gabby. She is fairly protective of her art, but I'll see how sneaky I can be, since I have to be around it while she's doing it, while I'm building this overhead thing that she wants. And since I'm a protector, I'll have to be close to her. So I'll see what I can do.
Well, Lyra, just feed into her ego. Let her know that you just don't. Tell her how little you know of art, and maybe she'll be more interested in showing off things she's doing.
I don't have any problem with that. And an ego she has. It's probably bigger than this whole place we're in. It's probably bigger than the rock. Actually, it's probably bigger than the planet. I don't know how her and that ego fit here.
Was there anything else that you all found out there?
There are these Cenarium people creatures. I'm not really sure what they were living down there. They're really kind. They were really kind. They helped us out a lot.
That's good. We could use some allies.
Yeah. I don't know how easy it would be to get them up here, but I'm sure they're there to protect.
But scared.
But
They were afraid.
yeah, they were scared of us at first, but
Is there any way we could talk to them again? Or?
If we go back down onto the 5th level, we could.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a trek.
Not a very safe one.
No, it's not very safe. I'm surprised, Lyra, that you found somebody with an ego bigger than mine.
So am I. But she does. In fact, if you two were on the... I'm surprised you two managed to be in the same space at the same time and not cancel each other out.
Oh, it's fine. So I guess in the morning at dawn, I need to spread the word that she's going to present her. She rolls her eyes at this, her masterpiece.
To be fair, you think Cochrane is doing that?
Oh, okay.
Cochrane said he'd tell the town to come to the saloon for the early morning meeting before
Okay.
dawn. At least that's what Cochrane's in his head is. Then Miss Gabby
Okay.
will talk to them and then lead them out to the presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
That was
Mis-
Cochrane's understanding.
Mr. Cochrane's been quite resourceful these past 2 days.
Oh, well, then what am I here for? Okay. No, I'm just teasing. Okay, so we'll get that done in the morning, and then I guess after that we're gonna head over to that other place.
After the yes.
Okay. Well, I've got to go find what's his name? Fred?
Fred.
Yeah. I gotta go find Fred and talk to him.
All right, yeah, before you go, I want to make the comment about the artist. You might want to have a conversation with your ladies because they're the ones that pointed me in Miss Joffrey's direction and not yours.
I'm a different type of artist.
Just to let you know, though.
Aria, do you have a travel mug?
I'm sure I do. Do you need one?
I just thought I'd deliver a drink to Mr. Cochran since he couldn't make the meeting.
Oh yeah, of course. Actually,
Do they have trouble?
she has a flask, an empty flask, and she'll pour her new minty drink in it. He might enjoy that, unless you think he likes something a little more spicy.
Oh no, I think he'll like this just fine.
Okay. Do you want a ribbon to put around it?
I don't know what kind of ribbon.
Just a little red ribbon. She'll hand her a red ribbon, just as a little. You could tie it up like it's a little gift.
Oh, yes, that's quite thoughtful.
You're getting really close to Mr. Cochran.
I will have you know it is just a business relationship.
Mm-hmm. He's over the moon for you, girl.
You think so?
I do.
Well, even if it was true, it's not like anything could ever come of it.
Oh well, why not?
It's a Ross family thing.
Mm. Sweetheart, if I were you, I would ignore social norms for somebody that you can truly enjoy life with.
Maybe. Well, I suppose we should all reconvene tonight, and hopefully this meeting goes well. And you do all know what the meeting's about, right?
No,
Do I?
I don't know.
It's
I don't think you
No,
Oh,
I feel like we got there just before Lyra and this psycho person came in.
well, okay. So, real briefly, then, there's some needs in the town. A lot of couples are likely to be expecting soon, and one of the projects we had in mind was to create a daycare type facility to be attached to a future possible school, as well as to increase some infrastructure resources so that we can maybe put some more money into helping Miss Morgan organize more protection for the town. I still haven't had a chance to speak to her about that. But in order to do all that, that means our town's going to require some type of budget, which means that we may have to institute a small but reasonable tax.
Mhm.
Nothing that would make anyone hurt financially, of course. Just something to make sure the town can grow and so that we can all thrive. And that's
Gotcha.
part of why the painting is so important, to help people see what their town can become.
Okay, that makes sense. We also need to figure out a way to get traffic in and out of.
Right. And that's one of the other things was to try paving the roads here and make travel arrangements, see if we can start meeting other settlements. Maybe this place near the lake could be a great start that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And then we can create a true route of visitation and trade, and both communities can flourish.
We can build an economy.
Right.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sounds good.
Hopefully the town thinks so.
Yeah. Lyra, do you need one more glass to go?
Do you have it in a bottle? And I'll just stick it in my back pocket or hide it somewhere. Because I have an idea. I'm going to need some fortitude all night long for this. No, I should be fine. I'm going to take a deep breath, steady my nerves of steel,
Well,
I'm going to head out the door.
why don't you sit down a moment and take a bit of a very brief rest and see if that helps you before you go out there.
Just take a shower.
Because I'm afraid I've already been away from her long enough that if I don't go now, I'm afraid she's going to come looking for me, and it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Makes sense.
So I probably should go and find her before she comes looking for me.
I don't want that woman in my room.
And
Don't
I'm
worry.
sure Aria does not want her in her
Oh.
saloon.
She's not going to sneak in here. I mean, you could smell her a half mile away.
Yeah. You get used to, luckily, you get used to it after laying on the ground for several hours.
You talk like you've known her for years.
I laid on the ground with her painting me in pain. Oh, actually, all I could smell was my own blood at that
Wait.
moment.
Wait, what? She painted you while you were on the ground bleeding?
Oh, y'all have not heard the full story. I forgot. Oh, we will get into this tomorrow. I don't have, no, I don't want to get into it right now. I'm trying to block the memory.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have hired her had I known that story.
But yes, needless to say, let's just make a long story short. I walked to her place, which was at the cliffs, which is surrounded by the Cenarium crystals. A minefield, literally, of crystals. Literally a minefield. I blew up. I looked like you're not going to know this reference because it's not been invented yet. A cartoon character bouncing all over the place. Blowing up.
A fancy ball.
A bouncy ball. A child's ball bouncing all over the place. Blowing up on different crystal mines. And finally landed, and she came out. Thought this was a wonderful destructive painting idea. And while I laid there bleeding and bruised and in pain, painted me.
Yeah, I think we definitely need a law about planting mines in the town. I'm
No,
glad you have brought
if
that.
if we need to post signs going to her place saying, "Please don't." Warning. Don't go any further. Bad idea. But anyway, yes. The long story short, I blew up multiple times. And she painted my picture. You'll probably get to see it at some point when she finishes it. It's interesting. But it was good. So I'm going to bid you all good night. And
Just as you go, there is a knock at this door. Is one of your
Of
girls,
course.
Aria?
yes.
Aria,
Yeah.
here's a woman. Well, it's Georgina. She's
And then
There are bits of scenarium all over our porch. There are bits of scenario coming around. She is maddeningly going. She has blasted several people who've tried to see what she is doing.
oh God. Okay. Lyra is coming. Go. And I shoved Lyra out.
And you go out. And with that, it is time for our break. So we will take our break and we will be back here in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
Sound begin to come on back. Was the conversation done in Miss Arya's room?
I guess. I know. Shove Lyra out the door. Like,
Right.
go take care of this crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess right before we move to that, just wanted to make sure. But
But yeah, I think the conversation has been thoroughly interrupted.
amazing. All right. All right. You burst on out. And sure enough, Georgina is spinning in a circle as she has this large, much larger plate of cenarium than you saw. It is roughly 15 feet wide and a good 10 feet tall. And she has these odd contraptions of metal that seem to allow her on each finger to have a chisel, and they're in differing lengths, and they lengthen and come back down as they're going everywhere. And she's also spinning in a circle, putting stress on it needlessly so people can't see what she's doing. And they can't get a good look at what she's doing. In the meantime, these cenarium bits of crystal that are being etched out are coming around almost like a blizzard around her, reacting, making literal explosions. Down about 100 feet away, a window randomly breaks. From some of this, people are just like running. A few of the people who we learned earlier might be pregnant are like holding their stomachs, even though they're not even showing. They're like, oh my! And it is insanity. What would you like to do, Lara?
I have no idea. Yeah, okay. Lyra is going to. She's probably lost in her art and not going to listen to a thing I say. So Lyra's going to look around for like a tarp or something like that. That she can start constructing a structure with, that she can put around the artist, that can help protect
yeah, go ahead.
That can help protect the town and the people. And she's going to start constructing really quick.
Absolutely. You go to run out, and just in time, you have these flashbacks of being blown around the plateau. And you look below you, and there are cenarium crystals littered all around here.
Oh, dear God.
You're going to need to clear this. I need an athletics check.
Oh, dear God. Okay. It's cool. I'm not going to survive this, I can tell. 20.
All right, you leap and land. People go, oh my gosh. And as soon as they see you begin to grab these things, it looks like there is people. You could see there is a good contingent of 7 buried men and women who are ready to pull cenarium weapons on this woman. But as you begin to move, they kind of acknowledge like this is the person who takes care of projects, and they kind of know you. They're like, okay, Lyra's on it. And they just on their own disperse, which lets you know kind of the trust the town has begun to have in you and your friends. There's this moment they just recognize the issue, recognize it's being dealt with, and disperse on their own, where that was somewhat hard before. but you begin to get a field. You do see as you cut off lines from her, she does slow down, keep it in one spot. Though occasionally there's these explosions as she seems to explode herself up over the tarps to get a view of the town and then come back down. And so people are like, ah! That was just like people firing weapons in the middle of the street.
Oh dear God. Okay, well, I don't even know what to do at this point. We're going to. Lyra's going to see what she can do about constructing a safety net around her. Kind of that, like a clear. I don't know. Something clear that she can see through and see the town, but is going to be more protection for the town and the people in it, and it's going to go up as high as it needs to go. She'll just keep building up. I don't know, like a tower of some sort. We'll just build up and around, and she can go up. I don't know. We'll keep going up. She's gonna keep going up. We'll keep going up. I'll keep going up.
Perfect. You build while she does her art. She goes, "Oh my, thank you so much, Lyra. It is good for you to apply your skills in the mundane and awful things they are good at, while I am able to be elevated to the highest heights. You are a darling."
My pleasure, Miss Joffrey. I am glad that I could be of assistance to such a great artist as you and the talent that you are giving this town. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this, allowing me this opportunity to serve you.
I am filled with your minimalistic praise. Thank you. As she continues.
This lady is Lyra is Fortniting this lady.
Anything else that anybody wants to accomplish? I think the next big part here is the town meeting. So what would you like to do, everybody?
Right now, Lyra, instead of trying to look at the art and get back to Miss Gabby, she is just trying to keep up with all the explosions. And as much as she would love to get back to Miss Gabby and tell her what is going on with the art, she's just trying to keep the town safe at this point.
Aria is she's making a safe haven in the saloon for everybody. Is just keeping it like does the saloon have like shutters?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, she's closing the shutters, keeping people away from the windows. Just you just stay here, be safe. And then of course she's gonna have a discussion with Fred. And yeah.
Oh yeah, so Fred won't be able to come by tonight because he works in the mines the whole time. Do you want to go to the mines or do you want to leave a message for Fred?
Oh well.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
He's supposed to wait up.
Yeah, he's supposed to wait up.
He will come there at night. Yeah, because he comes there every night.
Yeah.
In fact, he will arrive. You see him. There are, as it grows closer tonight, your girls are getting these sly smiles on their faces and giggling. And soon you see why. As Fred comes in, his hair is oiled down. and there is this extremely pleasant scent that comes off of him as he enters in common clothes, really working clothes, because all he has is working clothes, but they are clean and they are washed, and they themselves have been laundered in a pleasantly smelling way. And one of the girls moves up to you like, he has been coming in smelling like a rose in springtime every night.
Well, ain't he sweet?
And he has a flower in his hand that looks like fresh cut, which they make the comment that comes with a new fresh cut flower every night since it's been gone. And you've never seen it before.
Oh, Fred.
Arya?
You.
Yes, Arya. All right. Arya, Miss Arya, thank you. I'm real happy to meet you, to see you again. To see you again.
You just look like a summer peach. What's this flower? It's beautiful.
Well, I don't know if you know, but I'm a I garden. I make flowers. No, I plant the flowers. I don't make them.
Oh, yeah.
Flowers grow in my yard because of what I do. I mix them, and I change. I interbreed the flowers. I made this one after we met. I call it the Aria.
Oh,
He hands it to you.
Oh, she'll take it and she'll smell it. Oh, it's beautiful.
And as you smell it, the petals ting off of each other, and they have the traces amounts of Cenarium, and there is this tone that comes off of it. And it is in the precise key of the songs that you mostly sing. Specifically the one you sang the night you met.
Oh, wow. Well, sir, you have an amazing talent.
I just hope you like it.
I don't like it. I love it.
There's this heart attack for 2 seconds that he has, and then he's like, and he blushes and smiles really like boyishly, and like kind of shuffles his feet.
Well, why don't you come over to the bar and have a drink with me? And I just wanted to thank you so much for the oil that you dropped off the other day.
My pleasure, Arya. It's over, and you can have a nice set of drinks.
Woohoo! That's what she'll do. And yeah, her evening is going to be spent chatting with Fred and probably other things.
Very good. Yeah, and there's this very non-expectant thing, but certainly happy as the evening progresses. But a true... You've had fans, and he is not one.
Mm-hmm.
He listens just to you. And there's just this idea of it's just odd, and I don't know. You can decide how much Arya has had of this, but it is not this. He's shy because he cares. He is not shy because he's overly impressed with the Arya.
Gotcha. No, she's probably blushing like a schoolgirl right now because she's not used to this kind of attention. But she is eating it up, and she is genuinely interested in this guy. No matter how awkward he makes it.
Awkward fella. All right. Anything else?
Gabby spends the night kind of practicing a speech and just kind of trying to choose the right words.
And that's at your house?
Her office.
Office. Okay. That evening, then, there is a knock at your door. Lightly, and you recognize it by now as the knock of Mr. Cochran.
Come in.
He opens the door, and you can see on the porch with him is two gentlemen that you've seen around town, and one of them holds the door open as he comes in. He goes, just wanted to bring you a little bit of fresh tea. So you're working tonight.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. So she'll grab the paper parchment that she's been writing on and kind of just put that away for a minute and go to try the tea. That's what kind of tea is it?
It is very similar to like an oolong tea.
Okay.
And there's sugar and some honey that he has ready for you. They brought over. And of course, with the hour, I have our chaperones, but I did want to. He holds his breath for a second. I would like to officially state my affection for you.
So Gabby is like pouring honey into the tea, and it just starts spilling over. Well, that I mean, what do you mean? I mean that's. So she'll just like kind of smack him and say, "What's the matter with you? I've got a speech to give, and now you're distracting."
I'm sorry, Miss Gabby. I just it's my fault. I know it's not my timing is bad. I'm sorry. I should go. I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to know, it is not just because of this town, but because I care about you specifically, and you do not owe me anything, and I'll never bring it up again unless you do. Goodbye. You can try to respond, but yeah.
Hold on a second. Are these two people who were brought into the room, are they like carrying these tea things? Are they like
No, he had brought all the tea in. They are staying in the doorway, and he had mentioned like chaperone, and you're aware of what, like, your social grace is aware of what this is. They were simply there because of the late hour. And to keep any tongues from wagging. And they were just standing in the door to give you as much privacy as they can while making, if anyone walked by, knowing that nothing could happen because they're there.
Well, I mean, now that you're here, I mean, you might as well read over what I've written. It's the least you can do after distracting me, of course.
And one of his friends go, "That's right, Cochran. You got to be a polite man. How dare you distract her and then try to leave? Come on." And smiles at him. And he smiles back. "Of course, let me. That's the least I could do. You're right."
And you are going to have some tea, I would assume.
Well, it is officially your tea. If you're offering it to me, I would be delighted to accept.
Well, of course. In fact, I probably need a different glass. This one has a lot of honey in it. So that's a lot more honey than I'm...
So he brought this out with 2, and he takes a third out of his pocket as if he might know you really well.
All right, so tell me what you think.
And I think, is that pretty much the scene for tonight?
Yeah.
Good. And some reading and abandon. A few people smile as they walk by this office. And does Matthias have anything?
I would like to stop by the blacksmith.
Very good. And he is working late into the night. Matthias, good to see you. Gave me quite a project. Make this, or our entire way of civilization is going to be over. Oh,
It is a responsibility that has been given to you.
yeah.
I came for more personal reasons, and I'm going to pull out my staff and undo it. I have a question about this. I want to duplicate the scenario part of this to the other half.
Man. What good are you assuming that will do?
Well, so I could fire them both at the same time if needed.
Oh,
I'm not a very good shot, and 2 shots is better than 1.
well, I see. I can try to work on it. I'm concerned about the backblast of triggering them and damaging one of them of kind of an explosion or a feedback. Best they found them at the same time. I mean, I could give it a shot. It might make it mighty dangerous.
Well, where's the fun if it's not a little dangerous?
Well, if you leave it here, I can honestly have it. I know there's a meeting. I can give it to you after the meeting, I suppose. It honestly isn't that big of a deal to hook up, so won't take me more than 20 minutes. But I'm in the middle of this. He's just forging this crazy stuff.
Right.
You can see that he's got like a field of scenarium that you assume is helping with this anti-life stuff he's working on. He's like, if you leave it, I can try
This
to
was
get
more
it.
of a. This was more of a fact-finding mission to see if it could be done, and about how much it would cost.
Oh. Something like this that obviously you're going to use to protect the town. You just throw me one, that'd be fair enough, Matthias.
I believe I can do that.
Excellent. Yeah, well, if you want me to try it now, if you want it to be done at a later date, you just let me know.
For now, it will be at a later date. I do not want to pull you off of this project.
Very good. All right, well, have a good one then.
You as well. And I will go back to my barn.
So, how does the saloon look in the early morning before dawn for this meeting?
Oh, she probably enlisted help of Fred and the girls, and before they all left, before she closed down, or as she was closing down the saloon, to move the tables off to the side and arrange the seats in rows, arrange the chairs in rows facing the stage. And she doesn't have alcohol lined up on the bar, but she does have juice lined up and maybe some fruits and stuff for the early morning.
Coffee.
Oh, and coffee. I'm sorry. Coffee.
Lyra's gonna need lots of it.
Yeah. Coffee, juice, and some fruits.
All right. In that case, everyone makes themselves satisfied in the early morning, and they're all picking themselves up, very grateful for the coffee, as man did not have time to get all their chores done and get their morning ritual of coffee and breakfast before they arrive, because then they have to go out to their work immediately after. This is taking up like their breakfast time, as nobody sits around their house when the sun's up. And it's Gabby, you have your meeting.
So I kind of figure this would be sort of like the audience, and then there's some people at almost like a panel table, so that everybody in our group can be up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so your group's up there on the stage, and
Do you want a table on the stage with us behind it? Like,
yeah. So it's like we're at Comic Con.
This is a Q&A. Okay. Except for Lyra, she's protecting everybody from the crazy.
yeah.
And I mean, it is meant to be sort of like a Q&A in that regard. But so Gabby would just open the meeting by just kind of standing and welcoming everyone. And then, of course, just as a courtesy, introduce everyone at the panel, even though there really aren't need for introductions. It's just a courtesy. And then she would just kind of say, well, first of all, this is the first time we've all gathered since the election, and I do want to let you all know that I really appreciate you all getting up this early and coming to meet with us, and you'll understand why, I hope, rather shortly, why we had to meet this early. But it appears that we have enough time to go over a few things, and when I inherited this office, I did so by campaigning on a promise to bring this town of ours, Dawn's Hope, into a new age, to create something that is ours. And I do mean truly ours. But the reality is, in order for it to be ours, there is at times certain sacrifices we do have to make. Now, I was very delighted to hear from quite a few of our town's recent couples, many hoping to start families here. And then I think Gabby would use like a list of names given to her from Mr. Cochran, and just kind of ask a couple of people who felt comfortable like just kind of introducing them out in the audience so people can kind of clap, and especially if people have like wedding plans or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then she would say, but what I want is for these families, these new families, to inherit a better Dawn's Hope than the one we even have now. And in order to do that, there are, unfortunately, it has come to my attention, one of the reality is that our town, we have never had a town budget. We have never had resources meant to be spent on things that improve our town for all of you. What I'm asking of the audience is to consider the possibility of beginning talks in what might be referred to as a tax. Now, that is an ugly word to many people, and it's an ugly word for an obvious reason. Usually taxes are levied down from bureaucrats who are completely unconcerned about the welfare of the common people. But I've always kept my office door open. Anyone here is free to come and meet with me. And the one thing that I hear consistently from all of you is hope, things that you want to see brought, this optimistic spirit. And I want you to have these things. And in order to do that, the reality is we need to take care of our future inhabitants. And I'm not just talking about those moving here, I'm talking about those who will be born here. We will eventually need a school. We will eventually need a daycare. We will eventually need trade routes, paved roads, so that people are welcomed here. And the more those trade routes work, the more income gets invested back into our town and comes back to you. And she would kind of just lay out a few of the basics, because I don't want to get into tax.
Sure.
and all that junk in an RPG. But
Right.
and then she would open up the floor for questions.
One gentleman, Gabby. Hey, Gabby, I'm sorry. I've been here. I was one of the ones who found it here way back, and you talk of making this place for others to come. And we feel like that was the vision that was the Force vision given to us. Well, that's how I feel that it was, and I know a few others agree. And nothing's good has come besides you and everyone who came, frankly, this last time. When people come in this way. Even with bad transportation or not really any roads, darkness has come to our door more often than not. And what if it does not enable more light to come, but simply more of everything, and we are overwhelmed?
I am very happy you brought this up. As a matter of fact, it's been brought to my attention that we're having difficulty when it comes to transporting even a resource such as water back to our town. And in order to do that, we're going to have to take safety precautions. Now, you all know, and I don't really want to speak for a character who isn't here or a player who isn't here, but she would kind of defer that to the
Sure.
acting sheriff,
Maybe talks to
but and just kind of mention that plans are being discussed about the possibility of increasing not a military presence so much as just a safety guard, people meant to protect the town, not to interfere in their day-to-day lives, but to basically be a means of protecting anything from getting into the town again.
certainly.
Can Arya chime in a little on that?
Yes.
Also, with the welcome that we got, I think that is a huge turnoff to people who would potentially want to come and stay. I think we need to change how we approach people entering the city or entering the town. We need to be cautious, but I don't think we need to scare people off if we're going to try and do trade. Does that make sense? She asked to Gabby. Does that make sense?
I completely concur, of course. I think, and I don't know the person's name of the audience, but just say Mr. Brown or something.
Sue Browning, Mr. Browning.
Mr. Browning. I think Mr. Browning was probably just concerned, rightfully so, about issues such as recent attacks and recent. And one thing I would bring up that Arya did mention was when we came here, I mean, our group, we chose to come here. We chose to fare dangerous circumstances to get here. In order to have a prospering town, though, we need people to feel safe not only in the town, but safe to come here, too. And that does require some change on all of our parts. But the safety and of us, of the safety of this town, should never be put up for debate, or nor should it be something we don't care about. It should always be a priority.
100%. We care about everybody here, but in order to build an economy, we need to bring in outside resources, trade. Make it inviting to visitors.
There's some.
But also-
there's murmurs, both affirming and a few skeptical.
Mhm. It's going to be change. Change is hard. We all know change is hard. But sometimes change is good. I think a change for the town would be more beneficial.
Browning will actually stand and speak again, as he's now kind of becomes a little bit of a spokesperson. Well, I have a hard time believing that we won't get mostly bad before anything good comes down any type of improved road. And I think I can only speak for myself at this point, but personally, I want that acknowledged. I want to know you know that.
Oh, there is I can definitely agree with what you're saying. There
I'm okay
is
with hope, as long as we know what we're sitting in.
Yeah, there's always going to be bad, but we should always hope that the good outweighs the bad.
As long as we're prepared for the opposite.
I know I am ready to protect this town with my life.
Some other murmurs. You can tell this is something where before they were very good on everything you were saying in previous meetings. This is a harder subject for them. They're
Mhm.
trying to wrap their brains around it.
What I think we want more than anything is more focus on the town itself. I mentioned the paved roads and such because it is a means of commerce and a means of economic viability. But a part of that also requires that I and the other members here at this panel will take it upon ourselves to travel to some of these more dangerous areas and attempt to find true allies, people who are willing, like us, to make this patch of land a better place. We cannot achieve the world we want unless we make this world its ideal version for the next generation. And I do not want to see the children of these new families grow up in a world like the one we grew up in. Because as proud as we can be of our home, I think there isn't a person here who could say with a clear conscience that it can't be better. I know it can be better. And it should be something that we all strive for.
A younger woman stands up who Mr. Cochran didn't think they'd want their name out there, so she has not been mentioned. But you know she is pregnant. And she... I think the bigger question is, can this place actually be better? This specific place. I mean, let's just be real. I love what we've been able to do here. But we came here under many false pretenses. We were lied to. Both settlements were lied to. And we're only now realizing the company is far closer than we ever thought. This isn't the haven that it was meant to be. So, can we even make this? Is her room? Is this? Can it even be done?
Are you willing to work? Is everybody in here willing to work to make this place better? Are you willing to work together? We are a community. We are a town, but can we become a family? I think if we can have each other's backs, able to lean on each other, we can do anything.
People thought that before, and they found themselves made part of the song permanently.
You're right. You were lied to. Every single person who came here was lied to. I was lied to. I was told things about this town that weren't true, as I know you have been as well. The question is not whether or not it can be this place, whether or not this place can be the haven. I already know it can. That's not the question I am proposing. I am proposing, do you, and I'm speaking directly to you, do you remember when you were told those things about this place? Do you remember how that made you feel before you came here, before you saw what was really here? Do you remember that person you were?
Yeah. I remember.
I want you to hold on to that. Because I also remember how I felt before I came here. How you and you, how we all felt. And then when we came here and we found out that we had been lied to, it made us angry. Perhaps bitter. And over time, that bitterness has not been resolved. And it's transformed us. We see monsters and creatures out here all the time that have been transformed and created and morphed. The company itself is a morph and a terrible destruction of what it means to even be alive. But not us. Those of us who are in this room right now, at one time, we possessed true optimism, real life hope. That was who we were. It's not who we are right now. All I'm asking you is, if you can remember that person you were, then I am speaking to that person, not to the people filled with the bitterness and the anger. I am asking you to remove that, to look at me. I do not represent the company anymore. I left the company. I want nothing to do with the company. The company lied to me, it lied to you, it lied to us all. I am not here to sell you lies. That's why I wanted you all here. I'm not here to impose my will upon you. If this audience, if us today, if we are so filled with bitterness and anger that we do not want to move forward with this idea of progress and hope and optimism, then I will listen to you. But I still tap into that optimism right now. The person I was, that's who is speaking to you, who is trying to lead you. Let her live again.
Getting lighter outside. Mr. Blue Song speaks up. Miss Ross. Matthias. You came because you were sold something, like you said. But you also came for your own reasons, beyond wanting to do anything here or anything for those who hired you. Most people did. Again, I'm asking for me because there's one thing I need to know. And frankly, sorry, it's yours, one I'm aware of, but I'd like to hear from your fellows as well. But for you, I know the question I need answered. I think only they know the question I need answered, and I hope they answer it for them. But for you, will this town and what needs to happen here, now that you are mayor, are you willing to put it ahead of your search for Tom?
Mr. Bluesong is referring to Tom Ross. Tom Ross is my brother. Tom Ross is the reason I came here. He's the only family who I think was actual family for me. He would tear down heaven and earth to save me if I needed it. And when he got here, things happened. And now I don't know where he is, or if I'll ever find him or see him again. I, like most, with anyone they truly care about, do intend to find him. But that's not the question you asked. You asked, would that search be put ahead of what I'm attempting to do here for the town? Is that right, Mr. Bluesong?
That is right. It's one thing to run this place. It's another to do what you're talking about.
You're right. I think that if I found Tom, and if Tom knew that I put finding him above the needs of families, of good people, of people who had been harmed by the organization we both grew up in, that it might be the first time I ever truly disappointed him. So I can definitely tell you this. My search for Tom cannot interfere with my work for the town. Those two things, they have to coexist. If I put the town in danger to save my brother, then I've lost myself. So to answer your question again, no, I would not put my search for Tom above my duties as your elected mayor.
He nods. I would like to hear from Ira Matthias, please.
My only goal right now is to bring this town closer, the people of this town closer together. I have truly come to love this place. And like I said earlier, I would die to protect this town. This is my home now.
Us.
When I was taken from the God's Nexus, I lost my family, my friends, everybody I had ever known. Here, I have found all of that again. And I damn sure don't want to lose it.
He sits back down. You can see it is nearly.
Well, I think we should all make our way outside. I'm told we have a unveiling. God help us. Of something I think you'll all find very special. I hope.
Arya takes a swig out of her, saying a small prayer under her breath that the town doesn't blow up. Please be careful. Watch where you step.
Fred kind of like waves you off as you see that he's organized a bunch of the mine people to clean up the Cenarium dust
Oh,
during the meeting. Kind of like, we gotta take care of this, y'all. And kind of just nods at you and smiles.
no,
Like, I got you.
She just gives him a look of, "Oh, thank you. You are just a godsend."
Insight check. Oh, that's pretty good. That's 18
On who?
on Arya.
Oh, what am I? What, for what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see if there was anything there between that little look and that smile.
Oh, let's see. 14 plus 6, 20. You don't know. No, there's really yeah, she acts extremely grateful and maybe a little flirtatious.
All right.
Oh, poor Lyra.
Lyra. So what now you've been given instructions, Lyra, that no matter who is there, once the light peeks out upon this thing, that everything must be removed immediately, but not a second before, because my goodness, people cannot begin to guess what I have. It must be at the same time, or everything will be ruined. So what are you going to do? And what do you look like? Like, paint a picture for me. I love it.
Say that again. Wait a minute, what?
Your instructions is when the light happens for you to lower everything and not a second before. And I'm just interested in what state is Lyra in, and then what do you do? Like, you just kind of paint me what you attempt to do and what you try to do here.
Okay, Lyra has rigged a rope mechanism to lower everything all at once. And at this point, she's exhausted and frazzled beyond belief, more than she's ever been in her whole entire life, and about to pull. If she had hair, she'd probably pull it all out at once.
Probably missing some skills.
Yeah, she's probably missing any skills she has because she's probably already plucked them out from anxiety.
Plus the not insignificant number of small explosions upon her person.
Right. So, and everybody walks out. People who know her party here, Miss Gabby and Arya and Matthias, they can tell that she's frazzled and stressed and ready to scream at the top of her lungs and run screaming from this crazy person that she's had to deal with all night. And she's patiently, so maybe a little less patiently than she was earlier in the evening, ready to pull the rope to bring everything down to reveal this artistic masterpiece that she hasn't even had a chance to look at, trying to keep up with these minor explosions or these major explosions from ruining the whole town before we even got started on it. So
And
that's where we're
sunlight,
at.
the sun begins for the rope, and comes down. And at first, there is nothing there but a pyre of Cenarium, it seems. But then seems to change as the light hits. It thin sheet that begins to take shape. As the light reflects on the very thin and carved and edged piece of Cenarium that is humongous and is held aloft, not by anything physical, but by what look like symbols that have been wrought in the extra Cenarium dust to keep it floating. A song, the rock, echoes loud, and it is beautiful, and outlines of people of the village, shining and white, begin to appear, walking among the streets. Beautiful colors, vibrant impressions of the clothes, not the dull colors everyone wears, but bright, but conscious of the aesthetic, conscious of how people would want to see themselves. And see that this populates the city, people moving in an image of work, and you see people bringing in resources, leaving a combination of what looked like coin or credit, some extra food, and they all gather together in a representation of sharing. Everyone taking what they need to do something, and then what they go out and accomplish. Some begin building houses. Some seem to make dinners for those on like safety team and those exploring because they cannot make their own food for themselves. And there is this vision of a community whose purpose is not individual enrichment, but just what needs to be done here and now for everyone. And the way they smile at one another and hold hands and eat and share, all of you watch and feel emotion of being at an intimate family table, as though you feel what they are feeling. Soon, Cenarium outlines come over the air, and then the buildings and the colors fill in to show people taking care of children, and then a playground being built, and then a school, and the school becomes larger. And soon there are people coming in from roads that have been built through this family of a town. And they are rendered light. And there's a reality to it, a reality of people breaking laws, of being held accountable. And you see when the town is small, there is, much to Gabby's chagrin, a depiction of darkness and death, of black cenarium crystal almost encompassing. But as the town expands, that is pushed away. As people come together, that is pushed farther. As new people come in and join the community, is pushed farther still, until it can hardly be seen because of the bright colors of light that are made as of Dawn's hope. I like to
Lead in applause.
Yeah. Just it's beautiful. I think she nailed this one, Gabby.
Yeah, I think she did. Lyra, great work.
Oh, Lyra, here, and she'll actually hand her a giant mug of coffee. I think you need this. It's got a little something extra in there for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. With absolute gratitude forever.
So yeah, I'll go up to Jeremina. Obviously, you are truly the greatest artist I have ever met.
Well, took you. You're welcome. And you are the only sincere politician I think I have ever met.
Thank you.
Right. Oh my goodness, that compliment was exhausting. Lara, we need to go. I must say, I mean, I will need her to help me because will need to be maintained. So of course, I assume we all need to keep seeing this. So I'm afraid I must officially request that Lara come under my employ.
Obviously, I think Lyra would agree with such a thing. Lyra.
Lara, you need to be my ambassador because I cannot sit here and do yours myself. So you need to be my ambassador to this community of this amazing vision. Please be this muse from me, my dear, just barely non-drab friend.
Barely non-trap.
Lyra slides down the building in a heap at this moment and just sits there trying to gather her thoughts, which I have no idea where they are.
My gosh. Like a true artist, silence means yes. Thank you. Do you have anything?
Miss Joffrey, I would love to be your ambassador. I really would, but Dawn's Hope truly needs me.
Well, that's what you'd have to stay in Dawn's Hope, my dear Lyra, in order to maintain this. You see it's floating. She's like, because I mean, if it came crashing down, there'd be quite an explosion. So I'd imagine you must keep it up. And you would, of course, stay here. I mean, you are wonderful, but if you were too close, you would literally kill me and suck the life right out of my bones. So I will be returning, but you would stay here and maintain this wonderful thing, and only call upon me if things were in quite dire need for. Oh my gosh! Right now, I think one more second, this place might dry out my very soul.
Yes, I could stay here and be that ambassador for you. And if we needed you again, then I would absolutely be able to get in touch with you.
Ah, very, very good. And it's great because I know you memorized the safe pathway to my place, so I don't even need to explain it. And it's so good to have such a capable ambassador.
Yeah, you think you can draw me a map? I would really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. It is so adorable. While you have been able to rest all night and recuperate, I have actually been working. So I don't know if I could. I just need to get to my bed. And she starts going.
She just bounces out.
Lyra's going to stand there open mouth for just a moment. And then she's going to turn around and walk away and find the nearest flat surface and
As you do
crack.
that, the town, led actually here by Fred, goes, Lyra, Lyra, Lyra. And there's this chant, like slow
Lyra,
clap.
Lyra, Lyra,
And they go,
Lyra.
not too loud, we'll upset her. But they're going to go back
Yes.
to Lyra, Lyra. Very like, oh, we know, hun. We know. Thank you. We know.
Poor Lyra. Oh,
And,
she needs to sleep.
Yes, I think so.
And he will actually lead a thing where like he takes a little bit. It's just like a bar of scented soap that he just personally has because he works much. He has these things and kind of takes his hat off, puts it in there, and there's an impromptu like gift basket hat that's made for Lyra, just out of things for like self-care that people begin to bring, and is put there. And he just smiles as he just stands next to Arya. And
I hope there's alcohol involved.
That's what
Arya's rubbing off on me, sorry.
I think all of Arya's girls make sure that there's alcohol involved.
Lyra, you are going to move this thing, aren't you?
Now?
Well, yes. I mean, we can't have it crashing in the middle of the town, can we?
Right now?
Of
You mean
course.
at this very moment now?
Well, I mean, I suppose if you think it's safe to leave there, I don't-
But how about we let her rest first?
Oh, we could let her rest later. I
No,
just don't-
no.
All right.
Let's let her sleep for a
has
bit.
she?
Have you seen that 50-foot tower?
No.
Did you say? Look, turn around. Miss Gabby, turn around. See that 50-foot tower?
Right.
Okay. That thing is the only thing that kept this town from being beaten up by the Cenarium. Okay? That's what I did all night long.
You built that tower?
Yes, ma'am. Because every time she was like a shooting rocket. She would shoot up, look at the town, Cenarium would go everywhere. She would come back down, and then she would carve. And then she would shoot up, and she would come back down, and she would carve. And every time she shot up to look at the town from above, Cenarium went everywhere. So I had to build this tower around her to keep her from hurting the town.
That was very thoughtful of you, Lyra.
I'm exhausted, Miss Gabby. I love you to death and would do anything for you at any time, except for at this very second. Do you understand this?
All right.
Thank you. I am going to go lie down for an hour. I will have Miss Ariette wake me in an hour. And then I will come move it for you to a safer spot. Do you get it? I'm tired. I'm stressed.
Whatever you think is best, Lyra.
Thank you. My nerves are on edge.
Go lay down in the saloon. Gabby, come this way, and Arya's gonna lead Miss Gabby away before Lyra takes her head. And she ain't waking her up in an hour. She's gonna let her get several good hours of sleep.
Amazing. All right. And in that case, yeah. And the town here, oh yeah. So the very last thing, Miss Gabby, I do need a persuasion check with advantage.
All right. All right, that is 16.
16. Okay. 16. The town here, they see the vision, and you can tell it's gotten in there. Seeing it, this artist essentially mass illusion has made them believe, as given them a vision for what you were describing in your beautiful words, and they already trusted you, but they're ready to now believe in you and your friends. And say from this, keep it as simple, because there's still things with currency, and we don't want to get overly bogged down into that. But we're going to simply say there's 100 units monthly to be able to deal with. And then we'll be able to talk to things in price of units.
Cool.
And so that can be like lumber people donated, or the food, or the sharing, or all these types of things. And we're just kind of say of those resources that we'll be able to. So, all right. Then, anything else?
I guess after several hours of sleep that Arya lets Lyra get this thing moved safely.
Yes. It is a delicate and probably will take a good few days to move it, because it is supported from Cenarium symbols that have been put just on the ground like the dirt.
Oh.
And it's floating, and so if you mess with it too much, it'll just fall and explode. So it is a very, very delicate process, but it is possible. But what you do see here, you're not entirely sure if this was intentional or not, but from being in here, you've become somehow attuned to this illusion, and you realize that pieces of it can be made into essentially like hard sound waves. And this could be an effective defense of the town to essentially control a semi-spectral army of the people here. And while you might be the guardian of this art and keep it up, in times of trouble, you can also be a defense or operate this defense system.
Nice.
And
Now
so
you
it
just
is,
got to figure out how to move it.
yeah. And you can say, decide exactly where, but it couldn't go too far, but far enough to where it takes it out of everyone's pathway. And there are people ready to help build, like give you access to the tower, build like a nice little like, do not cross this or you will explode yourself and
Yeah, let's not let that happen.
find yourself with this interesting position here at the town. Anything else?
No, we're just going to work on over the next several days trying to get this thing very carefully moved, very gently moved, very carefully placed where people can see it and admire it. So it's a reminder to the people of what the town can be. So they have a visual of what it can be while they're thinking on what Miss Gabby said, but that it's still safe. And once I have it moved, I'm going to construct a fence around it.
Very good.
So that people can't get close to it with some signs around it saying, do not cross, warning, do not cross.
Anything else before the session ends?
I think we were talking about heading out.
Mm-hmm.
Am I stuck in town?
Where was the lady with the brooch located at during the town meeting? I assume she was in the part of the crowd.
Yes.
Was she like right up front and back?
Okay, yes. She was more or less in the middle.
Okay.
And
That
again,
is all I was curious about for now.
with that brooch, it's like people just have these things, and you start to get the idea that all these little scrying deals, essentially, that people don't seem to be aware they even have them. It was just stuff that they brought with them, and that someone has either did that before they came here, or while they were here, begin to build this network on people's belongings.
Okay.
Then we'd all prepare to head out. I could double check for Miss Gabby if she's good or not, and Arya.
I'm good.
Yeah, Arya's good, and she'll make sure that she says her goodbyes to Fred
Mm-hmm.
and the flower that he gave her has a special place beside her bed.
Good. And then with that, I think we will end for tonight. And pick up with a trip. For those of you watching, thank you so much, and we will continue our tale, hopefully with our full crew next week. See